Hi students, the next topic is semiconductor RAM memories. First we have to see the what is the internal organization of memory chips. So first of all, memory cells are organized in the form of an array. Okay. Next, each cell is capable of storing of one bit of information. Okay. Each row of cells form a memory word, means memory cells are organized in the form of an array. Each cell is means here we have to arrange a memory cells in the form of an array. Each cell is capable of one bit of information. Okay, each row of cells forms a memory word. All row of cells forms a memory node. Okay, next, all cells of a row are connected to a common line. Okay, here a common line is there, that is called sensor write circuit by 2 bit lines. Okay, here 2 bit lines we have to connect sensor write circuit by 2 bit lines. Okay, the sensor write circuits are connected to data input or output lines of a chip. So see here, this is the sensor write circuit. Okay, so during write operation, the sensor write circuit receive input information, store the input information the cells of the selected word. Means during the write operation, if you want to perform a write operation, it receives the input information and store that information in the cells of selected word. So where first we have to receive the information and then we have to store, okay, to the selected word. Next, the data input and data output of each sensor write circuit are connected to a single bidirectional data line. See here, single bidirectional means two directions. Okay, in two directions we have to connect a data lines. Okay, data line can be connected to a data bus of a computer. So with the help of data bus we have to connect the data lines. Okay, following are two control lines are used, that is read or write specifies the required operation. Next, coming to CS, here this is, okay, so two control lines are there. One is R W means read or write, specifies the required operation. Okay, CS means is a chip select input. Okay, selects a given chip in a multi-chip memory system. Okay, so for 128 required of external connections for address data and control lines is 14. For 1024 it is 19. Okay, so generally in semiconductor RAM memories, RAM is going to be categorized into two, that is static RAM and dynamic RAM. Okay, okay, again this dynamic RAM is further classified into synchronous and asynchronous. Okay, okay, we will discuss in detail. First of all, static RAM. So the name itself specifies memories consists of circuit capable of retaining their state as long as power is applied. Means the static RAM, the data is exist up to the power applied only. Okay, after power interrupts occurs, the data is going to be lost. Okay, here we have to use two inverters. Okay, that is worked as a latch. Okay, so what is meant by latch means a latch is an electronic logical circuit that have two inputs and one output. One of input is called as set input and another one is called as a reset output. So the latch works like a set and reset. Okay, so here we have to use two inverters, okay, to form a latch. Okay, the latch is connected 2 bit lines by transistors like T1 and T2. Okay, the transistors act as switches that can be opened or closed under the control of the word line. Okay, the word line is at a ground level, means here we have word line is there, bit line is there. Okay, so if bit line is nothing but b1 and b dash. Okay, when the word line is at ground level, the transistors are turned off and latch retain it state. Means if the word line is at ground level, the transistor turned off. Okay, the transistors are turned off. and latch retains its state. Okay, retains means it contains that state. Okay, next coming to read operation. So how we are going to be perform a read operation. To read the state of the cell, the word line is activated to close the switches of T1 and T2. So if you want to perform a read operation, first we have to, the word line is activated to close the switches of T1 and T2. If the cell is in state 1, the signal of bit line B is in high. Here B and B dash is there. So B is high and the signal on the bit line other one is B dash, that is low, because both are complement to each other. Okay. Thus the B and B dash are complement of each other. Okay, next coming to sensor write circuit. So monitors the state of B and B dash and sets the output accordingly. Based on the B and B dash states, we have to set output. Okay. Next coming to, if you want to perform a write operation, if you want to perform a write operation, the state of the cell is set by placing the appropriate value on bit line B and its complement on B dash. Okay, and then activating the word line. This forces the cell into the corresponding state. Means if you want to perform a write operation, we have to place appropriate value on bit line B. So whatever the data we have to write, okay, that is going to be placed on B. Okay, and its complement B dash, and then activate, and then after that we have to activate a word line. So this forces the cell into the corresponding state. Okay, the required signal on the bit lines is generated by sensor write circuit. Okay, so here we have a CMOS memory cell. Means in CMOS memory cell, so in CMOS memory cell, in previous we have to use two inverters to form a latch. Okay, now here we have to use CMOS memory cell. Okay, a CMOS realization. So here we have to use T3, T4, T5 and T6. Okay, so in previous we have to use two inverters. Okay, in order to form a latch. Here we have to use transistors. Okay, so transistor pairs are T3, T5 and T4 comma T6. Okay, from the inverters in the latch. Okay, the state of the cell is read or write as just explained. So in previous how we are going to perform read operation and write operation, as usual we have to perform with the same write operation and read operation. Okay, so for example, in the state of 1, the voltage of at point X, okay, here X point is there, Y point is there, is maintained high by having transistors T3 and T6 on, while T4 and T5 are off. Okay, so if you want to perform read or write operation, so we have to, for example, if the state is 1, then the transistors T3 and T6 are on and T4 and T5 are off. Okay, if T1 and T2 are turned off, bit lines B and B dash will have high and low signals respectively. Okay, so this is the CMOS memory cell. So instead of inverters, here we have to use transistors. Rest of the things are previous only. Whatever the previous operations we have to perform, same here also we have to perform. Okay, so advantage of this static memory is it uses less power consumption. Okay, the advantage of CMOS SRAM is very low power consumption because current flows in the cell only when the cell is being accessed. Otherwise T1 and T2 and one transistor in each inverter are turned off. Means in previous inverters, compared to previous inverters and CMOS, it is a very low power consumption. Okay, Next disadvantages is SRAMs are said to be volatile memories. Means volatile memories means if power off, then the data is going to be lost. Okay, their contents are lost when the power is interrupted. Okay. So coming to next one. So we will discuss in another video.